Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Steve Delarwelle. I'm running for Sheriff of Door County as a Republican candidate.
What would be your top 3 priorities as sheriff?
Number 1 is drugs. It's always a problem for any police department, and ours is not any different. With the influx of heroin into the northeast Wisconsin, I think we need to address that as soon as possible by not only arrests and investigations into the drug trafficking, but education. What I plan to do is bring more presentations into the schools, get into the high schools. We have a DARE program now, which is very good, but that deals with 5th graders, and we need to get into the high school where the kids are getting out and among their friends, away from their parents, where they get involved in other things, and educate them as to what's not good for them, and to educate the parents also. So we will put on presentations. We have 2 drug investigators and 2 DRE officers, which are drug recognition experts. They've gone to school for that. They will put on presentations for high school kids and their parents so that they're aware of what to look for, and hopefully educate them into slowing it down at least. Also, the communications in the department is something I want to address. What I plan on doing is having an administrative day where we have all the sergeants, all the administrators, all work a day shift. So the midnight shift sergeant, the afternoon sergeants for jail and patrol, we'd all have a round table discussion going through the month before, what we had going on, what went good, what went bad, what's coming up the following month. Currently we only have a sergeant's meeting once a year. I want to get those people involved because they're going to be the future leaders of our department, and I want them involved in the department. Also, I will have the administrators working a different shift once a month. They will work a second shift, and myself included if I was sheriff. We will work a second shift, we'll work a third shift, getting to know what's going on in those shifts instead of counting on hearsay or whatever people are telling them. The other thing is school safety. With school violence going on throughout the country, I think it's important that we address that with the schools. Right now, we have fire drills in every school monthly, correct? We don't have that with school violence drills. We don't have a drill. I think it's important that we address that with all the schools in the county. As a 19-year member of the SWAT team, we know what we're going to do going in there. We don't know what the school faculty is going to do with their kids. If we have a set plan, a comprehensive plan throughout the county that deals with what they're going to do, there are separate different plans out there, but getting them involved and getting something comprehensive throughout the schools and then train on it with their faculty and everybody else, I think we can be ahead of the game.
As sheriff, how will you foster an environment that ensures fair treatment of all people that are served by the Door County Sheriff's Department?
Well, for years I was a field training officer on the department, and it gave me the opportunity to have the new guys that were coming out on the road and train them on what to do. We will continue that program and foster an understanding that the people of Door County should be treated with respect just like anybody else, and along with the tourists, and I believe we do a good job of that right now.
What steps will you take to increase diversity in the workforce?
Well, we have an opening right now for a position, and that's advertise through our local paper and also through WileyNet, which is a law enforcement internet program that people can see where there are jobs available. If we continue to make this department a pleasing place to work, people will want to come here. And I think we can do that. It's a great place to work. Although we don't have the minorities applying here, maybe that getting into job fairs and things like that and advertising us a little better may bring some of those people in. We have a number of female employees that have actually risen up. My opponent, Tammy, is a lieutenant in the jail, and we have our investigative sergeant is a female. We have numerous female jailers that are full-time, and it's just we don't have a lot of minorities in the county that are applying for our job, but we will continue to advertise and try and get them here, but we will always select the best candidates and go from there, whether they're minorities or women or men. So,
what is your position on granting non-citizens access to identity cards and or driver's license?
I would like to see everyone have an ID card. We run into people with, especially in the summer, we have people from overseas that come and work up north and do a lot of the cleaning and stuff, and they come for the summer. They come with IDs we can't even read, and it would be great if they had something that we could check and do a background check or check for once or anything like that. As far as a driver's license, if you're a legal resident, you should get a driver's license. If you're not, I don't believe you should. That's my opinion.
A few weeks ago, Madison Police Chief Mike Koval endorsed the legalization of marijuana, saying the drug should be regulated and taxed, with revenues used to fund treatment programs for harder drugs. What are your feelings on his statement?
I disagree with that. If the laws are changed to do that, fine, but the laws are not that, and I will enforce what the laws are. I do not see a benefit to it right now. You have 2 states that have legalized it. I would rather wait and see how that turns out for a while before getting into that. And if we legalize marijuana and you're increasing more people on the road where we don't have the opportunity to, there's not a set thing to, like field sobriety tests for alcohol, there isn't a set thing that we have for everybody. The DREs can detect it very easily, but the average road deputy needs extra training on that. And do you want more people impaired on the road? I don't. I understand it's a recreational thing for some, and but until it's legalized, the sheriff will enforce the law as it is.
How can your policies keep Door County youth from growing up in the judicial system?
Well, the Sheriff's Department deals with enforcing the law. If a juvenile has broken the law, we'll take whatever measures we need. If we run into problems, a lot of it has to do with family problems. We try to address that with the family, with the parents. Here, give them some guidelines. Here's where to go for help. If you're having trouble with your child, we have human services are great. They're more than willing to help and direct the people to where they need to go. But as a department, we end up with the law enforcement side of it, and hopefully by guiding the parents to a solution, we can help them. By getting in the schools earlier, especially with the DARE program, is good. Getting to them early, giving them information on how to make good choices in their life coming up when they're young, and increasing our presence in the schools also. I know we have a special deputy that goes in the southern door weekly. We offered it to other schools. They declined at the time. I'd like to see them accept that. Maybe we could talk a little more with the superintendents or principals and see if we could get them in. It's somebody that the students could relate to and talk to, and maybe not be so hesitant to approach a law enforcement officer in the future. The one special deputy we have does it once or twice a week at Southern Door for 4 hours, and it's random days. He just goes in but doing it full time would be difficult. We just don't have the manpower to do it. We'll be working. This past summer we were working 2 deputies short on the road all year, or, up until a couple weeks ago we finally filled our staffing, which is probably the first time since I've been working here for 23 years that we had a full staff on the road. And we're always short somebody, moving on to somewhere else or retiring, and it takes a while to fill those spots. And if we can use the special deputy we have is a retired deputy, and he works part-time for us and does that, and if we could get a couple more of those, or once in a while have a road deputy walking through the school and just spend if there's nothing going on, you can stop in and just visit with the guidance counselor or anything and see if there's any problems, or if there's somebody to talk to that wants somebody to talk to, just to get to know their names and things like that. So
Thank you very much.
you're welcome.